there, folks. It's the Eric Metaxas Show. Have I got a story for you? Have I got a guest for you? If you're listening, if you're watching on Metaxas Super, you can see the guest. He's right here. His name is Al Forte. And Al, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, your microphone, is this microphone on? There you go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Good.
All right. I got to tell you, your story is nuts. I love it. And that's why I said I got to have you on. Our mutual friend Paul Mahowski tipped me off that you're doing what you're doing. And I said, I can't really believe this. I want to meet this guy. So what are you doing?
So I'm really spreading the message of praying for peace.
Make it louder.
So I'm really
you want to spread the message to pray for peace.
And the way I'm doing it is to do this walk from New York City to Boston.
Okay. You are walking from New York City to Boston. How many miles is that?
250.
250 miles.
Yes.
Okay. Why are you doing this?
To spread the message of praying for peace.
To pray for peace. What are you, some left-wing peace guy?
No.
What are you, Yoko Ono? Who are you? Who are you, Al Forte?
I'm just the guy that believes in prayer.
You believe in prayer.
Yep.
And so you want to get people to pray for peace. What kind of peace?
A peace in themselves first.
Okay. So not just peace around the world in the end of war,
no,
but every kind of peace.
Right. It starts in ourselves.
Right.
All right. So if we don't have there, and then peace in our families, peace in our neighborhoods, as we can see in cities, then peace in our country and peace in the world.
Where do you live?
Stanford, Connecticut.
Stanford, Connecticut. Okay. So I met you through the New Canaan Society.
You did.
With our friends Paul Mahowski, Jim Lane, the whole gang.
Yep.
And you believe in prayer. Were you raised as a Christian? I mean, a lot of people say, they believe in prayer. To walk 250 miles to promote the cause of prayer, that's not your average thing that people do. Where did you get this idea?
In 2008, it's been growing over time.
Okay.
But I'll just talk about the walk.
And by the way, what do you do for a living when you're not walking to foreign cities?
I drive people to the airports in their cars.
Okay, so you're a
basically
driver.
I'm retired.
You're retired now. You're retired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And so you've got time to walk to Boston.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what he gave me.
But most retired people don't walk to Boston. They stay at home.
I understand.
So I love this idea. But where'd you get the idea to walk to get people excited about prayer?
So in 2008, I was in church early. I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
And I'm just on time Catholic.
I believe Catholics are Christians, so it's okay.
Oh, thank you very much.
Some of my listeners might not believe that. Some of my listeners might not believe that. But they're wrong. But that's okay.
No,
that's
thank
okay.
you.
It's okay.
It's nice to be accepted.
I love people who are wrong. No, in all seriousness, I always joke around that I'm the most pro-Catholic, non-Catholic you'll meet. And I was raised in the Greek Orthodox Church. But when you talk about praying, right, you're praying to Jesus. You're praying for the things that are on God's heart. But, yeah, how did this idea, you're in church, to get the idea to walk for peace?
I was in church. I had a vision of a Muslim mom and dad in a desolate area looking over the bodies of their dead children.
Now, you don't mean you had a mystical vision.
A vision in my head.
No, but what I'm saying is, was it like a mystical experience, or was it just a picture?
Just a picture in my head. Right.
You're praying. Okay.
I wasn't even praying. I was just sitting there doing nothing, minding my own business.
And for some reason, this image came to your mind.
And then I heard this voice say, Al, you can do something about this.
Wait a minute. So you really believe God spoke and said, Al, you can do something about this?
Yeah. Well, first, I don't call myself Al. All right.
Yeah.
So that's all I heard.
But wait, you're saying that you felt that this was God speaking to you?
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't just an impression. Like, you really felt like God was speaking to you.
Yes. But it wasn't that overwhelming, God, like I had to do it.
Yeah.
All right? The way I said it was just the way it sounded. Al, you can do something about this. And I just thought about it.
But you're saying that because you heard the word Al, you realized this is not
me.
Not you.
Right.
Okay, so you're in church. You get this vision of victims of war.
Right.
And then you feel God say, Al, you can do something about this.
Yep.
Okay, so this is 2008.
Right.
10 years ago. So what happened?
Then God gave me the gift of ignorance.
What does that mean?
Well, so I was motivated to do a walk from New York City to Boston to spread the message, New York City to Chicago to spread the message of praying for peace.
To Chicago?
Right.
Chicago is like 1,000 miles.
That's exactly right.
Is it 1,000 miles?
950. We won't quibble over.
Holy cow.
We won't quibble over.
A 1,000-mile walk.
Right.
How do you do that? How many miles do you walk a day?
About 15 miles a day.
All right.
Except in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania had these things, I think they call them mountains. All right, that when you're driving, they don't look that high, but when you're walking, they're very steep.
Yeah. Okay. So a little tougher. But so about 15 miles a day. Yeah, that's a lot of days.
Yeah.
So what do you walk with a backpack? What do you do?
So a God story. So the day before I was doing this walk by myself.
Yeah.
All right. My practice was to walk from my home in Norwalk, Connecticut, to St. Aloysius Church, go to Mass and Communion, and walk back. And I do that 4 or 5 times a week.
How far is that?
6.2 miles.
What?
Well,
you're walking 10K almost every day to go to church?
Right.
Don't you know they have cars now?
That's what I tell my friends that do these marathons.
Okay, so you just felt like this is a good thing to be healthy and whatever, but it put this idea in your head,
right?
To pray,
right? Okay, and I had to be in shape.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't tell many people I was going to do it because I wanted the option not to do it.
Right. That's always a good thing.
Right. I like that.
Keep yourself open to not doing it.
Right.
All right. So you walked to Chicago.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you, walk to church.
Yeah.
This day, the day before the walk, all of the problems that could happen to me started to occur to me. I didn't think about that at all for the weeks I was doing this. What happens if my cell phone dies? Somebody robs my stuff? Of course, I was going to have cabs move my stuff from point A. How much money was it going to cost? Minor things. And I went to church, and when you're worried, it's like a phonograph with a scratch in it. For you young people, you might know what that's like, but it goes, and it gets louder. I had no idea what the priest was saying. Received communion, went back to my pew, and knelt down, and this is what I heard. Oh, Al, this walk is not about you. Oh, and Al, the money you're worried about isn't yours either. It's mine. You can do it with whatever you want. Oh, and Al, by the way, your life, that's not yours either. You can do it with whatever you want.
You're serious about this God stuff, Al, aren't you?
Yes.
Don't you know that it's just old folk tales, that none of it's true?
Well,
didn't you go to a good college where they taught you that all this stuff is nonsense?
No, I went to St. Francis College in Brooklyn.
All right, that's your first mistake. So you believe God is with you and he's speaking to you. This is so beautiful. I love this.
Well, now I sound better than I am, by the way. I just want you to know that. I'm not always this way.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not always talking about God, or God's not always with me like this.
All right. But you don't. You haven't killed anybody or anything?
No.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Good.
Thanks. Because if I had a murderer on the show, I'd get a lot of letters.
No.
Okay, so tell me then, you decide to walk to Chicago, and you're praying during a lot of the walk?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
And the prayer's not just admiring the beauty of our country is a prayer. Like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there would be a breeze blowing from behind me, and I feel like that was the Holy Spirit pushing me along. And then
this is simple prayer. You're not trying to win any awards for creativity. This is basic walking with God.
Yeah.
Now, did you tell people that you're walking to Chicago?
Not too many.
Not too many.
When my sister found out about it, she called me. She said, "What do you think? You're Forrest Gump?"
Okay. So you decide to do this, but how do logistically you send your stuff ahead to a motel in a cab?
Okay, that was the plan. I told you God gave me the gift of ignorance.
Right.
So I told you about being in church.
Yeah.
On the way back home, I called my friend Joe Ross. We knew each other for years. He retired, lives with his wife in Queens and had one car. And I called Joe up. I said, Joe, if you come up today to Norwalk, you can use my car for 2 to 3 months while I'm gone. So he came up. We went to Polici's restaurant in Stamford.
Yeah.
We had dinner. We talked about guy stuff. We didn't talk about the walk much. There was nothing to talk about.
Right.
On the way back home, this is what Joe said to me. You know, Al, I think it would be a good idea if I go with you I think it would be good for me and my marriage if I go with you as the driver.
Get out.
The day before.
The day before he drives. This is called God provides. Jehovah Jireh, if you're scoring at home, is the Hebrew term. We're going to be right back talking to Al Forte. Hey, folks, it's the Eric Metaxas Show, and I'm sitting here with Al Forte of Stamford, Connecticut, or is it Norwalk now? Come on, which is it?
Stanford.
It's Stanford. I thought you said Norwalk.
That was in 2008. I was living in. Can't you move? Can't people
so I'm
move?
trying to follow this stuff.
Okay, good.
Okay, so you decide to walk to Chicago. The night before, your friend says, why don't I go with you? It'll be good for my marriage to get out of my wife's hair for 10 minutes or 80 days. How many days did it take you to walk from Connecticut to Chicago?
Well, New York to Chicago, not Connecticut.
Okay.
That adds a couple more days.
Okay.
79 days.
79 days.
Yes.
And what's going on during this walk? Are you recruiting people to walk with you? Are you talking about it?
I'm just wearing a shirt. If somebody stops me, we talk about it. I give out a Pray for Peace card. I've given out about 60 to 70,000 of those cards. Pray for Peace cards. I should have given you one.
You should have given me one.
Oh,
but
no.
we're seated here. I can't walk. That's terrific.
Gotcha.
I love it. Don't give me a Metro card. I already have one.
No.
Okay, so the website is 2018walk.org. Okay, so that's your first walk was to Chicago.
Right.
And did you accomplish anything? Did anything happen that you didn't expect? I mean, that's kind of wild to walk 1,000 miles.
The most moving story I had was every now and then I'd get an article would be written in the newspaper about me walking across, the country.
Right.
And, in all of it, like Lancaster, Pennsylvania, York, Gettysburg, there's no New York Times story.
Right. Right.
And when I was in Van something, Ohio, I met a young girl, a waitress in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And we started to talk. I told them I had kids. She started to talk to me. And finally, after a while, she said, I have one child. And then she said, I really have two. I had a little boy who's 4 years old. I had him when I was 16. And I decided to give him up for adoption. When I walked to my car, like some things don't sink in right away. It was just like a matter of fact conversation. When I got to the car with my friend Joe, I said, what that girl did was 100 times more difficult than what I'm doing.
That's right.
All right. And I went back the next day and I told her that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just the fact that she chose life.
Yeah.
That there's a human being alive today because the 16-year-old bravely decided, I'm not going to take the easy way out and have a doctor kill my baby. I'm going to have this kid, and then I'm going to do the painful thing and give it up so somebody can raise this kid and love this kid.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay, so you did this whole long journey to Chicago, 2008.
Yep.
And that whetted your appetite to do more?
No. When I finished, I was done. Done. All right?
I've had it.
I've had it.
What'd you do? Did you fly back?
I drove back.
You drove back.
Remember, my friend
your
was
friend
with
had
me,
the car.
right? So we drove back. And so it was fine.
Did you drive back thinking, what the heck was I doing? I could have been driving.
I was just done.
You were done.
I was just done.
Yeah.
The thought came to me, motivated to do it, done it. God, I'm done.
Yeah.
Then the following year, I said, maybe I can do another walk. Well, not that long.
Yeah.
I'll go from New York to from Boston to New York. Look up the baseball schedule. The Yankees are playing Boston on Sunday. Subtracted the number of days. That's how I should start in Boston at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
On the website, it had this little contact us button. So on the contact us button, I said, hi, I'm Al Forte. Last year I walked from New York City to Boston, to New York City to Chicago to spread the message of praying for peace. This year I'm going to walk from Boston to New York. Maybe the Red Sox can do something. Click. That whole process might have taken an hour, maybe two, from the time I had the thought, getting on the computer, pressing the click.
Right.
The next day I forget about it. Just passing. It was good.
Did you ask him? You say, "Could Johnny Damon hit 2 home runs for peace, please?"
No. I was done.
Okay.
I just went. 2 weeks later, to get a call from the Boston Red Sox. We read your request. What would you like us to do? So I'm dumbfounded. I'm just on my cell phone. I said, "What do you have in mind?" We can get you into a game on the field for batting practice for a Boston Yankee game, and on the big screen.
Get out of here!
Oh, God again.
Now, did they mention that you're doing this walk to pray for peace?
No.
They didn't mention it.
No, they just flash it up there.
Okay.
There's so many things flashing.
Well, I know
our world.
I know. We got to sell Budweiser.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you walk from Fenway Park to the park of their enemy.
Yes.
Yankee Stadium.
Yes.
To pray for peace. To pray for peace between these teams as a symbolic representation of praying for peace between everybody where there's a rivalry or anything.
Exactly.
I love this.
Exactly.
You're crazy like a fox, Al.
I'm going to give you a Pray for Peace card.
I would like that one. Okay, so now you're doing a walk this summer.
Yes.
Starting June
30th.
June 30th.
And we're going to walk from Grand Central Station to Yankee Stadium for a Yankee Boston game.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm going to continue to walk
to Boston. Unbelievable. Okay, we're going to find more at 2018walk.org, 2018walk.org. We'll be right back. It's the Eric Metaxas Show talking to Al Forte. Can you see me? If you could see me, that means you have Metaxas Super. If you have Metaxas Super, you can also see my guest, Al Forte. Al, welcome back. This is crazy stuff.
Yes.
This is because you're a simple man. Like, you didn't think of some grand scheme, and yet it's so powerful.
Thank you.
It's so powerful. So this year, you're going to walk from Grand Central Station to Yankee Stadium.
Right.
Now, I have run from my house on the Upper East Side to Yankee Stadium. I did it on opening day 3 years ago.
Nice.
Right? And it was only about 5 miles or something. You cross the bridge into the Bronx, touch Yankee Stadium, and ran back home, right? Now, I run. I still, my knee is still holding up, so I run. But you are going to do this year, June what? 30th. So you're going to walk to Yankee Stadium for the game between the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Right. Last year, we had 50 people who did it.
Oh, you're getting people to join you now.
Well, no, last year, yeah. And now I have 62 tickets to the Boston Yankee game.
60. So you're going to try to get friends to join you for this?
Yes.
Okay. So if people want to join you, where do they go?
They go to the website, and phone numbers and information's there.
Now, it looks like you got 2 websites. You have 2018walk.org and you have prayforpeacewalk.org.
Right.
Either one?
Either one.
Okay.
But I made it short so people don't have to type in all those
2018walk.org. Okay. So you're walking on June 30th, you said?
Right.
Okay. You're walking from Grand Central up to, that's not so far. It's about 8 miles.
Right.
Okay. To Yankee Stadium. Yeah. You're going to attend the game with everybody who's going to join you. Yes. Hopefully some people from this program in the New York area, they'll join you. And then after the game, what happens?
Then I go back to Connecticut, and then back a couple of days and start the walk from Yankee Stadium to Boston.
Okay. And on the way, go ahead.
Can you picture 70% of the people at Yankee Stadium wearing Pray for Peace shirts?
70%?
Well, can you picture it?
I could picture a lot of stuff.
Right. That's how many people get up for God Bless America, at least. All right?
Right.
That would send a message. All right?
Where can they get these shirts?
I have some. We can figure that out.
I don't think you have 40,000 shirts hanging out in your garage.
No.
Okay.
But we'll get as many as we can.
All right.
Here's the point. If prayer is good, how come it's not marketed more than Coca-Cola? We keep it a secret. We are the best marketers. I wear the Pray for Peace shirt. I used to think if somebody read it, they would pray for peace. Now I believe if somebody reads it, they know I pray. And we don't know that. All right? And we look at it at church or big rallies where everybody anticipates the people there pray.
Yeah.
But at Yankee Stadium, right?
Right.
And could you picture that happening throughout the country? These stadiums are the largest cathedrals in the country.
You're a crazy man, and I love crazy men. I try to be as crazy as possible. These are good, crazy thoughts. So people want to know more. They go to 2018walk.org. So this is going to happen on June 30th, you said to me.
Yep.
Yanks are playing the Red Sox.
Yep.
And you're going to have a whole bunch of your friends there.
Right.
And people can find out about it at this website. And then you're going to go home, you're going to rest, you're going to get ready, and then you're going to go back to Yankee Stadium and walk from Yankee Stadium to Fenway Park in Boston.
Right.
250-something miles. Now, how many days is that going to take?
I don't know. I know the lapse time. So I'm taking breaks. The goal of this walk is to get the message out. So I'm skipping some days in the middle of the week.
Right.
So I walk on weekends. So if people can join, they can join on the weekends.
Okay. Do you pray to Jesus?
Yes.
That's all I want to know. Thank you. You're dismissed. All right. So, Al, your last name, Forte.
Thank you, Father.
Your name, Forte, means strong or loud in Italian. Al Forte. So it seems like almost like a prophetic name for you, because what you're doing, it's just beautiful. It's you can pray loudly, you can pray quietly, but what you're doing is there's strength in this to walk so many miles to pray for peace in our families, peace in our homes, peace in our communities, peace in our neighborhoods, peace in our country, which we need, and peace around the world. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful. Did you think that you ever do anything like this to inspire others?
No. No.
Is your wife still trying to talk you out of this?
Oh, I'm separated.
You're
divorced.
separated.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to pray for peace in marriages as well.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, especially.
I'm serious. That's like,
I'm serious.
You understand that. Because you know the pain of it.
Yeah.
All right. So there's violence around the world. When you pray, you have done how many of these now?
A bunch.
You've done a bunch of these?
Boston to New York, the 9/11 Pentagon Memorial to New York in 2011.
What?
Yeah.
How many miles is that?
Same amount, 250.
Washington, D.C., Pentagon Memorial to New York City.
That is, when you just walk through Washington.
Yeah.
It's the most inspiring place you could walk through. Because I was at the 9/11 Memorial.
Yeah.
Then I walked through Arlington Cemetery.
Yeah.
Then the Vietnam Memorial, the Korean Memorial.
Right.
And the World War II Memorial.
Yeah.
And on that walk, the chaplain at Walter Reed Hospital invited me to go into Walter Reed Hospital for a tour. I mean, it was... and what was inspiring there was to see how all these wounded soldiers... their attitude was terrific.
Yeah. There's a lot here.
They have no legs.
There's a lot here. They have no legs, and you're walking for peace.
And there's a guy walking around the rehab center pulling his wife.
He's doing what?
He's pulling his wife. Like she's behind him. No legs on those spring type.
Yeah.
And he's smiling.
You know, we're out of time. Al, this is inspiring. A lot of people are going to go to this website. I think you're going to have some people join you at Yankee Stadium. 2018walk.org, 2018walk.org. Al Forte, thank you.
Thank you.